Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Prison Architect. And things are a little heated right at the moment in the prison. A lot of prisoners are not in the best mood right now. And we're also short on cash, but there's a lot of things I need to do. For instance, I have some incident reports here. There's a number of prisoners needing medical attention and waiting solitary confinement. Now, I would like to do all of those things, but unfortunately I can't do all of those things with no money. So let's go ahead and look at grants here. And the first grant that would probably be a good idea is inmate health and well-being. This would also be good for my guards as well, as some of them have some injuries as well. And I do get upfront money, so I can actually start working on it now, which would be good. Let's see, what else we got? Visitation rights, not something I have a high priority for right now. This, I need dog handlers, which is the even lower priority for me. I believe I have staff well-being, which I do have a lot of exhausted staff members. And this would be good, except I get no upfront money for it, so that's kind of hard to complete when you have no money. And I can also do a crackdown on drugs, but considering the situation in my prison right now, probably not a good idea, in my opinion. But what I am going to do is go for the inmate health and well-being, just because it does give me some upfront money, and it is something that I definitely want to do. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we need to build a medical ward and hire at least 2 doctors. Now, where I would build a medical ward would probably be over here or over here. What I'm thinking is I build a medical ward over here, and then I build other things that are more prisoner-oriented over here. And then over here will be the staff room whenever we get around to that. So first things first, let's build a medical ward. And I'm going to start pretty simple here with the foundation. And it doesn't need to be overly sizable. This is probably big enough, and we can build other things off of it. So that's fine too. So that will be the initial setup. I'd also like to hire more guards here because we're having some problems. So what I'd like to do in this situation is hire 4 more guards. And what is our deployment looking like? We've got 2 guards in here. So there are guards kind of keeping an eye over there. And we've got 2 guards set up over there. I'm going to add another guard in here for now. And we'll even maybe do another one in here. But right now there's not that many prisoners in here, because only some of the areas are being used. Now, I don't know what the problem that the prisoners are having is at the moment, because I do not have a psychologist. Oop, that's not what I wanted. I want this, actually. I do not have psychology unlocked, and I do not have a psychiatrist, so... Or is it a psychologist? I don't remember. Yeah, psychologist. So I don't know what their needs are, so I don't know what they're flipping out about. But we're just going to have to jump on them with guards for right now. Oh, scissors and all kinds of stuff going on. It'd be nice to get metal detectors and stuff running at some point. But right now, we're definitely having some trouble. It looks like it's getting a little bit under control, though. Yeah, there's a lot of prisoners that are still pissed, but we'll get things moving. Oh, I got to set up a door here. For the prison, I guess we'll just do a jail door. And I'll put it roughly in the middle here. And once it gets put in, we'll lock it open. And this is relatively easy to do. I just have to hire the psychologist, which we might as well work on. I'm already talking about how it's a need. And it is for the grant as well. Now, we do have prisoner intake coming in. And that may seem rough considering how iffy things are right now, but I'd like to get my 50 prisoners so that cell block B is looking okay. So let's take that intake and ramp it up to, I believe 14 is what we need. But one thing I may do just to ease things is I may take a more of the Minsec guys right now, because we can get almost 12 of them. Now, money-wise, we don't get as much money out of them, but I prefer to have prisoners that are not going to be violent right now while we're packing in things. Now, another question I have is, did I buy enough toilets? And it doesn't look like I did. So, let's go ahead and do that while we have the money and I'm remembering to do so. Alright, let me see. Where do we have dorms already set up? Looks like just these few here. We can easily get the capacity we need. Now, these dormitories might be dangerous because of how crowded it makes everybody, and that could be part of what is making the prisoners freak out on me right now. But for the meantime, it could be just food. They needed food. Oh, and another thing I could do to help things along. I don't think... Do I have prisoner education set up? I don't think I do. Let's see under programs. Because I'd like kitchen safety and hygiene. Let's start that. I'm going to have to set up stuff in the regime, though, to allow for it. And I'm also going to give the prisoners jobs. As many as we can fit in here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need more food production, I think. And I think the prisoners helping out will aid that. Now I have to go to the regime here. And add in work periods. Now, I would like... I don't want to cut into their free time too much, so I might get rid of some of the yard time. And another thing I might do, just to aid me a little bit, is I might deviate the yard time here between the two different prisoner types. So, maybe what we'll do is we'll add work time here and do work time here. So they don't have the same work time, I mean the same yard time, the normal security and the minimum security guys. And then I also want maybe work time here for the normal security. And then we'll do an hour of work time for these guys. Now, that doesn't give them a lot of free time, only a few hours. And what I might do is just get rid of the lockup time and give it free time instead. I don't know if that's adequate free time and work time for everything, but at least it gives us some time to do things. So 6 to 7 and 4 to 5 are the times that we'd probably want to do that. So let's go to programs and reschedule all programs. All right, that's actually not going to be helpful, I don't think. I think there's a way... Oh, I can't program it myself, though, because I don't think I have the policy. But 6 to 8, what does that do for my prisoners? Well, I mean, that's good for these guys, but not for these guys. Oh, well, that's going to be what it is for now, because I can't set up my own programs. Oh, I can check room quality. Oh, they're not too happy with the room quality, huh? Well, I don't really care about that right now. Alright. So we've got our labor set up, and we've got a bunch of other things set up. I think we're good to go. The main question is, are they getting fed enough, our prisoners, with what cooks we have? And that may not be the case. And because we did that, I do want a guard in here, so I have an eye on it. I think I'm going to add another guard here, too. And I'm just going to preemptively hire enough guards so that we've got two prisoners per guard once we get the full 50 intake. So, there we go. And we can set up some more dorms, I guess, as well, so that we can actually get that 50 capacity. So let's go in here, and we'll set up this right here. All right. He needs alcohol. All right, so that's what they're most upset about, is they want booze. I can't give you booze. Although the medical ward might be able to take care of that, maybe. We do. Oh, actually, no, you can't do that, can you? Oh, well. Let's go ahead and set up our medical ward. So it's going to be a small one to start. I may expand it later. But the main thing you need in a medical ward, well, first off, let's get our rooms. And we want medical ward, if I can find that. I have a hard time finding services. I would assume it would be green. Oh, it's not available yet. Oh, that's because I haven't, okay. We need to do health. All right, well, that's my bad. But at least we have it started and we're working on it. Utilities, it seems like it's fine. No, it should need utilities. Why am I not getting any indicator of that? Oh, maybe because the light bulbs aren't installed yet. Okay. Well, we'll just grab the electricity and bring it in. Okay. So, I mean, things are not looking great, but I think we'll be able to get things under control eventually. All right, so family is another thing. So it's family and alcohol seems to be what they're complaining about the most. Another thing I'd like to do is deal with the solitary stuff. So there's a lot of prisoners that are awaiting solitary confinement, but I don't have solitary cells. And I figure an easy place to put them would be over here, maybe? Because we don't need quite this big of a holding cell at the moment. So what I'm thinking is dismantle this. And then maybe we just draw across here and just make some solitary cells. They're going to be pretty small, though, for the most part. So what I'm going to do is 4 walls. I think I'm just going to do this. Well, it's not going to quite fit perfectly. All right, hold on. Maybe I can think this through. We knock down this wall and we draw a wall here. Well, I guess it's not going to be perfect no matter how I do it. Because solitary cells don't have to be big at all, I don't think. Let's see. Solitary. Yeah, there's no requirements. You just need it to be enclosed, pretty much. So, all right, well, that's fine, I guess. We'll go ahead and slap one together. Now, the main reason I'm doing it over here is because I already have some water piped in there, so it wouldn't be too hard to do this. But I could do it like this. So let's plan here. Rather than... Alright, so if I do this, there's a wall already here. Then I do that. Then I do that. We're going to have one that's a little bit too big. But I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So what I'd like, we're going to get rid of rooms. I'm going to get rid of this shower. I've been wanting to do that for some time. Get rid of the shower. You're going to dismantle all the shower heads. Okay. Then, I would like, under here, demolish wall. And like this wall and this wall demolished. And then, I would like... before I do that, I'm going to have to also dismantle that. And then, you can go ahead... And under rooms, I don't need this to be solitary anymore. I already queued that to dismantle, so we will go ahead and build out of concrete. What is blocking it? Alright, well, we'll worry about that once things are dismantled. I don't know what... Oh, foundation. I'm under the wrong thing. I was wondering... There we go. And we'll wait for all this stuff to be knocked down and dismantled before we work on that. And we can start some solitary cells, and then eventually we're going to need a wall here as well. Okay. Now, visitation is the main thing they're freaking out about, and I don't know if I have a grant for that. Let me see. Visitation rights. Yes, I do. This would be relatively easy to build. I just have to think about where to build it. Maybe right in here. We could build a nice big visitation center. So I have the cash for it, so why don't I start on it? So we'll build it right in there. And it should be a decent size. We'll be able to fit some stuff in there. And it's relatively close to the entrance here. So I'm happy with that. And we need an entrance. So what kind of door do we want? I don't know if we want a cell door or not. I guess we'll do that. We'll just do a large door. We'll put it here. And then I'll lock that open once it gets built. Okay. So we're on our way to doing some other grants, which shouldn't be too bad. We're getting our solitary cells so we can actually punish our criminals as they do naughty things. And then we'll be able to start working on the rooms. But speaking of that, can I actually get a medical bed without actually having the... No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. But at least I'm getting the other things taken care of. Okay, so now that that's all taken care of, and they're getting on dismantling it, I guess I can go ahead and get my solitary doors. So it'd be these. One there. We're going to have at least one solitary cell pretty much out the gate. I may have to run electricity. I'm not exactly sure how the utilities go. No, I wouldn't have to run electricity in there. So we can actually set up the solitary cell right away. It's going to be in here. So once I have the door, which they just now have, we have one solitary cell, so we can route a prisoner in there. Okay, we're going to lock this open. Now, I'm not going to finish off the room just yet, but let's just see about utilities. So we're going to need electricity, so let me grab that. Just go here, and then that should probably be fine. We'll have to see if we need more than that. Oh, I never told him to dismantle that. Okay, that's my bad. Okay. I think things are, yeah, we're starting to calm down a little bit. And there, the solitary cell is done. So there's one in there. Okay, the one door is done. Let's go ahead and build a concrete wall. And then we need the toilets. Okay, so objects, toilet. I don't know if there's a grant for this, but that's okay if there is. And we're going to have a deluxe solitary cell over here once we get that in. And then we're going to need... And I already have a guard working here, so they'll be able to keep an eye on the cells. At least I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, and then we need the objects, which are the solitary doors. Okay, and we almost are having enough. I'm going to have to route utilities. Alright, so... I think I'm going to adjust these utilities a little bit. And I also think I remember messing up utility over here that I need to dismantle. Okay. Alright. So, I mean, things are still high, but we're getting there. Once we get the visitation center done and the medical ward done, that will do a lot for that. We're close to getting psychology done. Okay, utilities. We need that. Then we should be good. And then I can go ahead and go rooms, solitary, and then just drag across. There we go. That guy unfortunately doesn't have a toilet for a little while, but he'll be fine. And I don't see a reason why not to start on the staff room. I've been thinking about where I would like the staff room, and this is a little bit problematic to me because I'd like to build it down here. But I'm not exactly sure. Something like this, maybe? It's kind of a big staff room, but I think that will work. And then we need an entrance, and this is going to be a staff door, of course. So we're kind of planning for the future right now with some of these buildings. Oh, and we need utilities in some of these rooms. So... Oh, I must have accidentally knocked out the electrical connection here. That means we don't have electricity in a lot of places. Whoops. You know, one thing that might help these prisoners with some of their needs, now that I think about it, would be probably phones. That might deal with some of their family needs. And then exercise equipment as well. So we'll get some phone booths over here. And what I'll do is I'll put the phone booths in one corner. I don't have a lot of lights, though, so maybe not quite there. That is one thing I need, too, is outdoor lights. So let's start on that. And we'll put some phones over in the other corner as well. Just let that... Okay, so we've got... I guess we're going to do something like that. So we've got 10 phones. That should help a little bit. And let's get some exercise equipment here, too. So, one there, one there... on there. And then this will be kind of the initial. So they have things to do, and also this will probably help a little bit. Now, I'm probably not meeting their recreational needs right now. Come on, get the utility down here. We're just having to wait on that. Okay, that should help. Still waiting on the other utilities as well. So I must have accidentally disconnected. Oh, okay, I see where the problem is, right here. There we go. Must have accidentally disconnected the power when I was dismantling utilities. Speaking of power, how's our power generation doing? Pretty good. So we don't need any more capacitors at the moment. And how are we doing on our psychologist? That is done, so I can hire that guy. So let's go under staff here and get our psychologist taken care of. Let's hire him outside this office. And we almost have all of the guys that need offices. And now I should be able to see their needs. So what are they freaking out about? Family, recreation. Those are the, I assumed the ones that we needed. Then exercise is a little bit of a concern. Hygiene, they're going to be high on just because of the time of day. So the phone should really help with some of this stuff, the family need. And then we have our visitation center already built. So once I get the grant and I'm ready to go, there we go. It's already starting to go down pretty drastically. But, you know, we'll get there. What's going on over here? Did I never hook the stuff up with utilities? I guess I never did. Oh, wait. I disconnected it again. That's what happened. I have to be mindful of that. That's the second time I've done that. Alright, well, hopefully we can work on that. I want to make that high priority so they get on it. There shouldn't be that many other jobs to do at the moment. But I will go ahead and set up the utilities for the staff room as well. Okay, we're getting there. Just have a few more hours and we'll have the medical stuff pretty much wrapped up. And in 6 hours, we'll be 6.5 hours. Might well actually speed through time here. But in 6.5 hours, we'll be ready to go for the prison intake. So we'll have 2 grants taken care of. So about 1 hour 20. So I'll just keep an eye on that as we speed through time here. So once we get to about 4 hours here, we'll have the medical stuff done. Then we can get our doctors, which is going to help a lot because we have a lot of injured inmates. We have a lot of injured staff. Okay. I believe that ding-a-ding was that being done. So let's go ahead and get all of this stuff taken care of. So we need the medical beds. And the more of these that we have, the better. All right, so let's think about this. One here. One here. Might not be able to fit many more in here. Yeah, that'll be good for now. I wonder if the white spot is where they have to get in it. Well, we'll see. We'll see how well it works. If they never use these beds, then obviously I placed it wrong. And then staff-wise, how many doctors do I need? Hire at least 2 doctors. Okay, well, room. We need the medical ward, which I already forgot what color that was. I believe it should be green. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then the staff, we need 2 doctors. Ow. Okay, so that much is taken care of. And I might... Not sure if I want to deploy a doctor in the infirmary or not. I think we'll be okay without it. But now we're good on power. Just have to get the medical beds installed. And you know, with the visitation room, what I might do is not make it a room yet, but at least add the things that we need, like the visitor tables. I'll just go ahead and stick in as many of these as we can. Alright, well, maybe I didn't plan that out quite. Wonder if we fit them... I don't think it's going to be any better. Well, you know what? I can put this one up against the wall. Alright, I gotta wait. Just allow these to accumulate. So I'm not overspending on things we already spent money on. There they are. We'll do it like that. That should be fine. There we go. 4 visitors tables. So we're going to get that family need taken care of. Which is good, because that's one of the highest ones. And then recreation we're going to have to deal with a common room. Which will be... Oh, and we just got a grant. So let's go ahead and open this up and get another grant. So we already just did what we needed for the visitation. So why not take this one? Because that one would be quick. Although the staff room would be quick too. I think this one, we already kind of started on that. So, I guess we might as well make it a visitor area. And to do that, trying to... There it is. Okay, so... I also need a common room, though, part of this, I just realized. Well, that's alright. Common room I'm going to put over here. So let's go ahead and get on that. So I need At least 3 visitor tables we have. Build a visitation room, done. Build a common room and add a pool table, and then add at least 2 TVs and at least 5 phone booths. We have the 5 phone booths, so that one's taken care of. So what we need now is the common room. And I'm going to make it pretty big. We'll put it right about here. Oop, I'm not under foundations. Okay. That's probably good enough. I'll do it 1 over. Because we're going to probably want to do, like, AA meetings and stuff in here. We'll make it a decent size, and we'll probably put a chapel next door to it. And I also have to think about needing a school as well. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I guess it's no problem having it be 1 bigger. Alright, we'll do something like that. And then we need an entrance. We'll go ahead and open up a large jail door. And we'll put it here. And then I'll put another one when I get the chance over here somewhere. It gives them a couple different routes to go. Right now, the tree's in the way, so I can't do that. And that should take care of their recreation need as well. And then once we get the prisoners in the morning, we'll do the staff room. Speaking of the staff room, what does the staff room need? Oh, you know what? I messed up the foundation here a little bit. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. Let's see here. Room. Staff room. Might as well actually even draw it out. So it'll be here and here. Again, a sizable staff room. But we could always change this into a different room if there's a better need for this size of room. And the staff room needs a wide sofa and a drinking machine. Okay. Well, we'll get it to be pretty basic at the moment. Drinking machine. Let's actually take a look at the wide sofa first. So, wide sofa. Do 1 there and 1 there. And we can do some drinking machines. Okay. And then something like that. There's our staff room. Probably overspent on it, but it's not a big deal. Oh, actually, I don't want the room, though, because I want to get the grant. So let's just cancel the room, but we can at least put the objects in there. Okay. So, few more 2.5 hours here. And while I'm thinking about it, is there anything else I need to unlock? Well, micromanagement would be good. That way I can move things around. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that. And education would be a nice program eventually. Intelligence would be nice. Surveillance would be nice. A lot of these are expensive, though. I don't have a lot of cash. Okay, so we've got a little over 2 hours to go. Alright, and I can also set up the other jail door. We'll put right about there. And this jail door you can lock open. Okay. Prisoners will be here in under an hour. Alright, what are their needs and what are they freaking out about? Let's see. I think I need to put a guard in here. There we go. Alright, needs. Still family and recreation is the big thing. But we're taking care of that right now. Okay, so this is done. Now we just need utilities. So, grab utilities, and I'll take it from here into there. That should be good. And then rooms. We need a common room. Honestly, I'll finish that up in the next video. I think this is a good point to put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.